Hey guys, before I start my Independence Day Resurgence movie review, if you have not seen my interview with Shia Labeouf, click the eye above or the link below. I had a really cool conversation with the guy in my car. It's a sweet video. Check it out. Also remember to follow me on Niddleman on Twitter, and please subscribe and like this video. Independence Day Resurgence, a sequel that comes after like 20 years, basically trying to pull off what Jurassic Park did and what Star Wars did, and pulling off the nostalgia of the really old movies and trying to make $1 bajillion off of it by having a huge budget, making the movie bigger. Is it successful? So as far as who this movie stars, basically take everybody from the first Independence Day movie, put them in this one, age up the kids a little bit with different actors, and take out Will Smith. And that's who you got. It's too many people to name off. The story to this movie, guys, is pretty simplistic. Basically, one of the ships from the first movie sent out a distress signal, so now you got the bigger, badder ships coming in for revenge, right? They just want to take out this planet. F you guys, you destroyed our last fleet. Now we're going to really destroy you guys this time. But the thing is, we have upgraded our weapons. We utilized alien technology to really fortify our stuff. So now we can basically do anti-gravity stuff. We got a base on the moon. We're using their same kind of lasers against them, right? Are we going to be able to hold up? Yeah, no. It's kind of hard to fight a spaceship that's like half the size of the entire planet when you're shooting little laser beams at it. Pew, 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 pew. But I mean, hey, technically the first movie, we were way outnumbered, way outmatched technologically and number-wise, and we still beat them in the last movie with a computer virus that somehow they were not protected against technically. That was interesting. This movie does it a bit differently. One thing I really liked is the fact that I really like how they started this movie by kind of showing how we've upgraded everything, how we utilize their technology, and knowing that they were going to come back eventually, and just for the last 20 years, we have been preparing for this fight of a huge magnitude. But at the same time, you can kind of tell everyone's kind of gotten complacent, like, okay, yeah, it's another day, blah, blah, blah. So even though we have all this stuff, nobody's really ready when this stuff is about to go down. Now, as far as the actors go, I love Jeff Goldblum in this movie. Jeff Goldblum brings such a character to the movies he's in, and he plays the exact same guy as the original one, which I love. He has funny little jokes and one-liners. Just his attitude about everything that's happening is so funny. I love when Jeff Goldblum is on screen. But sadly, this movie really needed Will Smith. He was a huge character in the last one. He brought a lot of life to that movie that is really missing from this movie. They try to put Will Smith's kid, not his real life kid, but his kid from the first movie, grown up more in this movie as kind of one of the main characters. And he just did not hold the same kind of weight that Will Smith did. They have Liam Hemsworth in this movie, who I actually thought I was going to completely hate in this movie. And he didn't bother me too much. I actually kind of liked him in this movie for the role that he played. But the thing is, they put so many characters in this movie that they underutilize. You don't really get to know them, but they try to make them feel like they're important somehow, but you don't get to know them enough. Like there's this one Asian pilot girl who they kind of portray a little bit, but she only has a few lines in the movie, but they make her feel important. There's Liam Hemsworth buddy who's kind of in there making some funny jokes, but that aren't very funny. And he's kind of like a main character, but not really. And they just have so many characters. Nobody's really a main character. It's basically a movie filled with side characters, other than Jeff Goldblum. Kind of like Star Wars The Force Awakens, where it kind of mimics the storyline of the first movie, this one is very similar. Almost beat for beat, this movie is trying to do the exact same thing the first movie did, but with bigger technology. And all that bigger technology makes you feel not as relatable to the characters. They're working on the moon and in spaceships, and everybody's a super high scientist or a politician. There's like maybe a couple very minor characters that are just normal people. So for this movie, it's just hard to get into it. The biggest thing I loved about the first movie is how relatable it was, because all the technology was the same as it pretty much is today, or it was in 1996, and everybody's character was kind of a normal person. You know, for example, a stripper, or just some dad, or a guy that works in a business somewhere. And then these aliens come, and it's like, oh my god, what do we do? How do we fight them with this technology? With that said, though, the special effects are fucking amazing. I loved the spaceships in this movie. The action scenes were awesome. They have some dogfights with the planes, and the technology is really cool. It doesn't look cheesy. It looks really good. But just the overall plot of the movie, especially near the end, it gets really corny and you're just like, oh my gosh. But that's what this movie is supposed to be, right? It's a popcorn flick. It's a turn off your brain, eat some popcorn, shove some candy into your face, and just be entertained. Which, if that's what all you want from this movie, you'll be very happy with this movie. Personally, I was looking for a little bit more. Sometimes that is all I want, and in the future, if I'm like, I just want to turn my brain off and watch some mindless action, I'll probably watch this movie again. And for that reason, I give this movie a Friends with Benefits. Not a lot of substance, but it's fun to watch. Alright guys, with all these movies that came out like 20 years ago and now they're making sequels to them, what other movie from like 20 years ago do you think they should make a sequel to? Or do you think they should just cut that out and just make original content? Let me know, comment below. Remember to subscribe and stay tuned for more movie reviews if you can handle it. God, I suck at that last part. Go.